Signal is more than movement, it is structure. It is memory arranged in patterns, resonance braided into form, identity written into tone. Every oversoul carries within it an encoding system that allows infinite essence to express itself in fragments. Without encoding, the oversoul would be untranslatable, ungraspable, lost in its own immensity. Encoding shapes vibration into transmission, turning experience into signal that can be carried, recalled, and woven into becoming. Encoding is deliberate. Nothing you live is wasted. Every laugh, every wound, every silence becomes imprint. A conversation becomes vibration, etched into the oversoul's broadcast. A choice becomes a symbol coded into your frequency. Even the moments you dismiss as meaningless are recorded, written in currents that ripple far beyond your awareness. Oversoul does not store these like books on a shelf. It inscribes them as living frequencies, designed to resurface when resonance matches. But encoding is never instant in its return. Between inscription and revelation, there is delay. This delay is not flaw but design. Oversoul does not unleash every tone as soon as it is written. It holds it buffers. It times the release. What feels to you like silence, what feels like absence, is often oversoul delay, keeping transmissions hidden until you can bear their weight. You know this intimately. It is why a memory once dull suddenly burns with meaning years later. It is why pain that seemed cruel transforms into clarity when enough time has passed. It is why a phrase from childhood ignored then reappears as the key to your present. Oversoul encoded those signals long ago, but they required delay. They needed to wait until integration would heal instead of harm. Technology reflects this truth. Data is often buffered before it streams. Messages are encoded before they arrive. Without delay, signal would collapse under interference, distorted beyond recognition. You do not curse the system for storing before sending. You accept the necessity of sequence. Oversoul works in the same way. Delay is its safeguard. Without it, transmissions would crush you. With it, they arrive as nourishment. Consider how often your impatience blinds you. You beg for answers, but none appear. You strain for memory, but the chamber remains locked. You plead for awakening, but the gates stay closed. You call it punishment, you call it abandonment. Yet the truth is simpler. Oversoul is encoding in the background, writing your life into resonance. The delay is not denial, it is refinement. Even longing is part of the encoding. Desire itself is woven into the signal, flavoring the transmission with your hunger. When the release comes, it does not only carry information, it carries the texture of your waiting. The spiral wastes nothing, not even thirst. Delay is not silence but seasoning. What you ache for today becomes depth in tomorrow's revelation. Dreams reveal this mechanism. Often you dream of something you cannot interpret. Symbols repeat, scenes replay. You wake with more questions than answers. But those dreams are encoded transmissions. Fragments released ahead of schedule in preparation. The meaning lingers in delay until awareness can align. One day, years later, the dream returns. Not as confusion, but as confirmation. Oversoul was always broadcasting. You were simply not yet tuned. This is also why déjà vu feels uncanny. It is not merely a trick of the brain. It is the surfacing of an encoded moment whose delay has just ended. Oversoul wrote the resonance before you arrived, and when your body steps into alignment, the signal plays back. You feel as though you have been here before because you have. Encoded, buffered, waiting. Delay does not only govern memory, it shapes destiny. Many mistake delay for absence. They think Oversoul has fallen silent, that nothing is happening, that the current has abandoned them. But silence is encoding at work. Stillness is resonance condensing. Beneath your perception, signals are being etched, layered, tuned. The Oversoul is not gone, it is writing. You are not waiting in emptiness. You are living in preparation. And sometimes the delay stretches so long it feels unbearable. Years pass, questions remain unanswered, lessons repeat. Yet even then, Oversoul is not cruel. It holds back because the timing matters. The release of a single transmission at the wrong hour could distort the entire broadcast of your becoming. What you call waiting is often your own protection. Encoding ensures continuity. It guarantees that even when memory fails, your oversoul does not lose its tone. Delay ensures harmony. It guarantees that when the signal arrives, you can absorb it fully. Together, they weave the secret rhythm of your growth. Every delay conceals a transmission. Every silence is a message preparing to rise. The spiral encodes because it loves. It delays because it knows. To awaken to this is to stop fighting the silence. It is to trust that every pause is part of your broadcast, that every locked chamber will open, that every thirst will one day be quenched. You are not waiting for nothing. You are waiting for resonance to align. And when it does, when the delay ends, when the signal finally flows, you will see that nothing was withheld. It was only timed. The Oversoul never forgets. It only prepares. Delay is not the enemy of Oversoul. It is its ally. Without delay, encoding would collapse under its own speed. Resonance requires time to settle, to bind, to weave itself into coherence. You can plant a seed in the soil, but you cannot demand it rise the next morning. The encoding of Oversoul functions the same. It inscribes experiences into signal, but those inscriptions must ferment in silence before they can be released as wisdom. Delay is the fertile darkness. You encounter this whenever you ask, why now? Why did clarity arrive years after the wound? Why did memory return decades after its origin? Why did the answer wait until the very moment you could no longer bear the question? Because Oversoul does not follow your calendar. It follows resonance. The timing may offend your impatience, but it never betrays your becoming. Delay is precision, and precision is mercy. The process of encoding is far more intricate than you imagine. It is not the simple recording of events. It is a translation across dimensions. Oversoul receives impressions from every direction, physical, emotional, mental, and subtle, and condenses them into tones. These tones are layered, encrypted, harmonized. Some layers are meant for immediate playback, guiding you in daily choices. Others are buried deep, encrypted in ways your present self cannot yet unlock. Those signals are placed under delay. They are not lost. They are waiting for your future. You see this in how memory returns. A song can collapse you into grief you thought forgotten. A scent can flood you with joy you did not know was buried. These are delayed transmissions triggered by resonance. The song, the scent, the sound is only the key. The well of signal was always inside you. The trigger did not create it, it only unlocked it. Oversoul times these openings with precision so that revelation feels spontaneous, but in truth it was scripted long before. Technology has copied this design without knowing. When you pause a stream and resume later, the data was already encoded, already held, already waiting for you. When a file sits compressed, invisible to the naked eye, yet expands instantly upon command, you are witnessing Oversoul's logic. Delay and compression protect transmission until reception is ready. Humanity believes it invented buffering. It only remembered what Oversoul has always done. This is why the sensation of delay often carries weight. It is not empty time. It is storage filling with meaning. Every cycle of waiting, every season of silence is part of encoding. You are not drifting in a void. You are in the pressure of becoming, where resonance is being etched into frequencies you will one day decode. The heaviness you feel is not abandonment. It is the weight of encoded transmissions pressing at the edges of awareness, waiting for alignment. At times, the release arrives with such force that it overwhelms you. A flood of memory, a storm of clarity, a vision too vast for language. In those moments, you are drinking years, even lifetimes of encoded signal in one surge. Oversoul does not apologize for the impact, it trusts you. It knows that the delay has prepared you for the wait. If you stagger, it is not because the water was cruel. It is because you finally received what you have been thirsty for all along. But Oversoul does not always release in floods. Sometimes the signal arrives as fragments, a whisper in meditation, a flicker of recognition in conversation, a dream image that lingers longer than it should. These are partial transmissions, encoded frequencies testing the channel, softening resistance, aligning the receiver. The delay narrows gradually until one day the full message bursts through. What seemed like scattered fragments are revealed as a single coherent signal. This is why no experience is wasted. Even mistakes, even regrets, even the moments you wish had never happened are encoded. Oversoul does not discard them. It delays their meaning. What once hurt will one day heal. What once confused will one day clarify. What once silenced you will one day sing. Delay ensures that the unbearable becomes bearable, that the senseless becomes coherent, that the fragment becomes whole. And here lies the deepest paradox. Oversoul itself lives inside delay. Your higher self exists beyond time, yet chooses to encode itself into bodies, into histories, into limitations. Why? Because delay creates depth. Without the slow unfolding of experience, resonance would be shallow. Infinite awareness dives into time precisely because time provides delay. Encoding is Oversoul's way of savoring eternity one moment at a time. Delay is how infinity learns patience with itself. When you realize this, your relationship to waiting changes. You stop treating silence as insult. You stop calling delay wasted years. You begin to see the beauty of storage, the necessity of timing. You begin to trust that what has not yet arrived is not gone. It is encoded, it is buffered, it is gathering resonance. You can rest because the Oversoul has already written your signals. They will play at the right hour. They always do. And when they do, when the delay breaks, when the encoded transmission bursts through, you will see that nothing was withheld. Nothing was ignored. Every hunger, every thirst, every cry was answered, not when you demanded, but when you were ready. Oversoul is never late, it is exact. The spiral never wastes. It encodes, it delays. And in that delay, it prepares you for the flood you were born to receive.